What's going on, YouTube? It is your boy DJ Trev. Back to our regular setup. I did a little experiment in my last video with Streamlabs, and I think it was fairly successful, considering I had no idea what I was doing or how to use it. But I think I've got it figured out. There's so much more to it that I have to learn. I got to add some bells and whistles, and it will be the platform that I go to when I feel like I need to show you some things on the screen and to know what I'm talking about. Okay, that'll be where I'm going to go, and it'll be great. But sometimes we'll stick to this format when I feel like I just need to talk to you directly, which I kind of do today. Okay, the last video I did was on Luffy token, and that was on with the Streamlabs setup. And we went through some things there, but I really feel like I did that token and that team a bit of an injustice, because that wasn't the video that they deserved. Even though they all praised me for it and they all appreciated it and liked it, it was not the video they deserved. Today I'm hoping to give them the video that they deserve, because I am super impressed with this token, with the team, with the plan, with all of it, okay? And I'll tell you right now, this is going to be a longer video. I have a lot of information to share with you about Luffy token and about what I've figured out, what I've discovered about what's going on here, okay? So buckle in. I really suggest that you watch this to the end. If you have any interest in Luffy token, which, I'm not a financial advisor, isn't financial advice, but just me to you, I think that you owe it to yourself to really dig into this one and learn about this one, because this one, to me, I think this is, as one of my fellow YouTubers say, this is a banger, okay? You want to look at this one and potentially get into this one early. Maybe that's up to you. Okay. But yeah, this is going to be a longer video, and subsequent videos about it will keep in that 8-minute to 10-minute, 12-minute range. But watch this one to the end. I don't care if you have to pause it. And okay, all right. Anyway, enough of that. Luffy token. So there was an AMA, an Ask Me Anything live event by the team yesterday, and usually when these live event things happen, I'm at work. If you've watched any of my videos, you know that I work in construction, so I've got trucks and machines and all kind of noise going on. I'm trying to hear this as best I can, but I was able to hear a good portion of it, and I got a lot of information. The AMA started off on Twitter Spaces, which is where I guess they normally do their AMAs. Now, this company is not even a year old yet. I believe it was formed in August of 21, okay? So here we are, just beginning July. It's not even a year old yet. But I believe that they've done other AMAs. This is the first one that I was a part of, because really, I was just turned on to Luffy token very recently. Okay, they tried it on Twitter Spaces. There were some technical difficulties on Twitter Spaces, which I think kind of often happens. I've watched other AMAs that everybody has problems with this Twitter Spaces. I really hope they get it together. But right off the bat, to the credit of this team, issues going on, couldn't get the stream going, sent out a tweet, sent out the information, boom. Let's go over to Telegram, and within minutes, we were up and chatting, okay? They had a contingency plan, nobody panicked, boom, let's do this, got it done, okay? Very professional, A+, right off the bat, as far as I was concerned. Now, so we started the AMA, and Peter Tai, I believe I'm pronouncing his last name right, is the CEO, and he started with his initial dissertation, or whatever you want to call it, basically introducing himself and talking about, giving a layout for what they were going to talk about today. And he presented some really cool things that have happened, okay? And I want to bring those to you. So one of the things that they talked about, now again, remember this company's not even a year old, all right? And if you see me looking around, I've got notes everywhere because I really want to get you all the information on this, and I want to get you the accurate information because you need to know about this, okay? So one of the first things that he talked about was that, you know, they've been on a lot of tier 2 exchanges, being a brand new token and building the ecosystem. That's what they've been doing. A lot of times these tier 2, even these tier 2 decentralized exchanges, they want to, you know, you got to pay them to even get listed, and it can get expensive, okay? And these are tier 2. I mean, you know, listen, people love tier 2 exchanges and use them all the time. I'm not saying anything bad about them, but I think it's known that once you start getting onto some of the tier 1 exchanges, you're getting a lot more exposure, and you have a better chance of really being successful with your project. So they've been on these tier 2s, they've been paying them, and what Peter announced is that they're at the point now where they have achieved so much with this token, and you know, they're so far along in the development that they're not even bothering with tier 2 exchanges anymore. They're going after the tier 1 exchanges. And if a tier 2 exchange wants to list them, they can do it, but they're going to do it for free. They're not paying for it anymore. They're not wasting the company's money that could be better spent on development and other resources on these tier 2 exchanges, okay? So they're moving to the tier 1 exchanges. Now, he also announced that there are 2 tier 1 exchanges already that have committed to listing Luffy token, which is huge news. It's big news. Committed to Luffy token, to listing it on their exchange. Now, they are not ready. We're going to get into all this as we go on, okay? They're not ready to release the name, and we'll talk a little bit of the names, but we'll talk about a little more about that later. One of the other things is that they also just received from a donor $50 million in money that they can use for funding. This was a venture capitalist, okay, anonymous, which is, you know, fine, right? That's usually how it goes down. They can use this money for a lot of different development tools, and so that's a lot. That's an awful lot. We're going to talk a little bit more about that as we go on, okay? One of the other things they talked about is they just completed a 1% burn of the supply. Now, if you saw my previous video, you know that this supply started off with 100 quadrillion tokens, okay? So it's an astronomical amount of tokens. But they have some really, really good burn mechanisms in place, and I'm not afraid of that total at all. They're really getting it burned. To date, they have 33%, and again, less than a year. They've already gotten rid of a third of that supply. They've burned it off. Okay, they just burned. It was 32%. They just burned another 1%. And so now they're up to 33% of it burned off. And they have plans for how they're going to continue to burn that supply off, okay? There's a plan for everything. Everything they're executing with precision. Everything that they've said they're going to do by a certain time, they've gotten done. It's just impressive all the way around. It really, really is impressive to watch, okay? So now they have the 2 tier 1s confirmed. They're in talks with 5, and it wasn't clear to me if being in talks with 5 tier 1 exchanges includes the 2 that they already have, or 5 in addition to the 2 that they already have, okay? So we'll get some clarification on that. But bottom line is they're on it, okay? People are starting to take notice. There's a buzz going on, and they're getting listed on some big ones. Now, I can tell you this, I think, safely. There is a lot of rumors on their Telegram feed, in their Discord, about the names of these two tier 1 exchanges, okay? And you know, the rumors are probably right, but I don't know. It hasn't been confirmed. They actually signed a non-disclosure agreement, which I think is typical too, because I've seen it work both ways. I've seen where the coin or the stock, whatever, will themselves release, do a press release and say, hey, we're being listed on blah, 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 okay? But I've seen it the other way too, where the exchange wants to do the publicity. They want to release the information, okay? So they signed an NDA, and I'm assuming that's because the exchanges want to be the ones to say, hey, now, we are now supporting or listing Luffy, I keep saying Luffy token, okay? It's probably the way it's going to go. So there are rumors out there, but I'm not saying those names because they have not been officially named, and you're never going to get anything here but the facts, okay? I don't want to deal with rumors, all right? So anyway, yeah, they're in talks with 5, and I can say this, I can confirm this, okay? KuCoin, they're in talks with KuCoin, and they feel that KuCoin will list them this year, okay? It hasn't been listed, but they feel like they're going to get, the talks are going well, and they feel like they're getting listed on KuCoin this year, okay? There's another one, a big one, that we'll talk about in a little while, all right? What else did they get out? So there was the 1% burn. Oh, they also did a 15 ETH buyback, okay, to help the community. So they're doing a lot of different things in a lot of different ways to reduce the supply and to keep the price stable, okay, to keep the floor stable. They're very conscious of that, which is good for us, the investors, okay? BitGet, we can say that. BITGET, if you're familiar with BitGet, that exchange, they are listed on BitGet. They got that one. That's announced. Boom, done. All right. Now, the AMA went on for like 2 or 3 hours. All right. And it was an actual AMA, the way an AMA should be. People asked questions. They got answers. There was no obfuscating. There was no dodging of questions. There was no political BS, you know, where you got an answer that didn't really quite answer the question. They answered every question, all right? The only question they didn't answer is what I just talked about when people said, hey, what are the 2 tiers that, you know, and they said, listen, we signed an NDA. We can't disclose that right now. That information will come out. But everything else was answered. And Peter, again, the CEO, this man, I'll tell you what, coming up very soon is probably going to be, from me, some sort of expose video on Peter Tai. I've really got to dig into this guy and who he is and his accomplishments, because what I've seen so far, he is super educated. He's a baller, all right? Let me put it like that. Dude's a baller. He's in there and rubbing elbows with the elite, okay? He's the guy that you want in charge of your project. He really is. And we're going to be really getting into him because I want you to really be comfortable with who it is that's leading this thing, all right? But anyway, Peter hung out for the whole thing to the end. There were no more questions. People were done asking questions. He hung out and chatted with his development team, and we were all able to listen. He asked if there were any questions from the development team. He just wanted to chat. He wanted to hang out. Regular guy, okay? Listen, I got to say it the way I say it. He's a Vietnamese gentleman, and he has a very thick accent, right? His English is impeccable, but it was a little difficult for me sometimes to understand what he was saying. And that's more my fault than it is him, because he's extremely articulate. I couldn't get the accent yet, but I'm going to get used to that accent. Peter don't know it yet, but me and him are going to be best friends. You don't know it yet. I actually asked him in the AMA, I said, you know, that was one of my questions. I said, Peter, I kind of want to live in your world for a little while. Can we be best friends? And he said, no. Oh, well, you don't know it, but I'm telling you, I'm going to get in there. Anyway, Yeah, he hung out and he answered all the questions. He's just a cool guy. All right, and you got all the technical answers that you really wanted. All right, some things were a little more technical than I even understand, but it is what it is. So I got to get on. I got to ask a question, and they recognized the video that we made yesterday, and thank me for it. They all watched it. The CEO of the company was chatting with me, told me he watched the video, and thanked me for making it. And you are going to be getting a lot more information about Luffy going on. Now, this is not going to be an all Luffy all the time channel. I'm still covering everything else that I want to cover, okay? But I have had a conversation with the head of the marketing team, and we have discussed that any news that is being released, they're going to inform me of, so that I can get it right out to you guys. So if you're interested in this token, if you're invested in this token, subscribe to this channel if you're not subscribed to this channel, because when the breaking news comes out, this is where you're going to hear it, right here at DJ Trev Market Talk, okay? So subscribe, hit the like button, don't forget to do that. And if you have comments about anything, jump up in the comment section, because they have given me unbelievable access to their marketing team and to the team in general to get questions answered. Okay, I've been in constant contact the last couple of days with some really key people. I don't want to put their names out there. I don't know if they want that, so I'm not going to do that. But yeah, so if you have any questions that maybe I haven't covered, leave them in the comment section. And while I'm chatting and doing my thing, I'll try to get these answers for you. I made it clear to them that my community is number one, okay? You'll always get the honest opinion from me, and even if something's going on that I don't like, you're going to hear that too, okay? I'm not becoming anybody's press secretary. That's not what's going on, but we're going to get all the information that you need out from these guys, and I don't anticipate any problems because they're all doxed. They're extremely transparent, and like I said, you ask them a question and you get the full answer. No bullshit, right? You get the answer. So it's wonderful. It's a wonderful thing to work with, okay? After the AMA, like I said, I had some conversations, ongoing conversations where I wanted some clarification on some questions that I had that I wasn't able to ask because I was in the middle of work and I didn't, want to crush somebody with a machine or something. So, and some things I heard, I wasn't sure if I heard it the right way. So I presented a list of questions to the marketing lead, and he got back to me and answered every single question. Okay, I want to read for you the questions I asked, and then I want to go through step by step the answers that I got, because I don't want to miss a thing. I don't want to twist anything around. So. All right, let me start with that. So, the first question I asked was if they had a goal in mind or a number in mind as far as the burns are concerned. Where do they want to get to? Now, we were talking about with LUNC, with Luna Classic, we've got this burn tax, and we're hoping to take that total supply down to maybe about 10 billion, okay? So I was wondering if they had a number like that in mind that they're actually trying to get to. And basically the answer back was they have no specific goal, no number in mind, okay? And this was a key phrase. Because of the way that they do their burns, they have milestone burns. I'll tell you what that means in a second. And, the buybacks and the different things that they have going on, I think there might be, some sort of transitional taxes or whatever. Everything that's going on, this was a key phrase. He said, the sky's the limit, okay? I loved hearing that because they're not saying, oh, we want to get, we would like to get 50% of it gone. Actually, if you look at their white paper, it says by 2024, they're expecting to have 70% of that supply gone. So 70 quadrillion tokens gone. And that's only in, 4 years, 3.5 years, 4 years or something like that. That's how much so they'll be left with 30 quadrillion, and, the sky's the limit. I mean, nobody's saying that the burning is going to stop there, okay? So that was good to hear. I was asked in my Discord by my buddy Gorgeous George, who we've talked about, right? Might do an interview with Gorgeous George sometime, and you can see he's cute at best. He's really, anyway. All right, so he asked me about if I knew anything about them doing a buyback, and I hadn't heard, so I asked about that, and yes, they actually had done a buyback. Like I said, it was a 15 ETH buyback that they did for the community. They did it to keep the price stable, and that's beautiful. It was great to hear. Okay, I asked when the next live stream date was. They don't have a date set, so that's to be determined. But it will be, like always, on Twitter Spaces. And if anything goes wrong again, I'm sure we'll just jump over to Telegram and won't be a problem. Okay, let's see. All right, yeah, I asked them about if he could clarify. I was, I knew that they weren't going to, but I think I'd try and ask anyway. Maybe I get some inside information about the names of the 2 tier 1 exchanges that are listing, and that's when he told me about, they have the NDA, and he confirmed about KuCoin. This was the other big news that I was happy to hear about. Now, Peter Tai, the CEO, is on the board of Blockchain Association, okay? Also on the board of Blockchain Association is someone key from Crypto.com. And the two of them are chatting about listing Luffy token on CDC in the near future is the timeline that I got, okay? Cryptic leaves it open. The near future could be next week. It could be beginning of next year. I don't know. But they're in direct talks with KuCoin about getting listed as well. And that's great news for me because I'm in the U.S. You might be able to tell from my accent, right? And I think that these other 2 exchanges, I think that they're not U.S. based. I don't even think they're available to us in the U.S. So having KuCoin and having CDC come on board would be monumental. That would be great. And there are other ones that are coming too, so it's beautiful. We talked about the true total supply. Where can you, because if you look at the total supply most places, you still see it listed as 100 quadrillion. And, we talked about, obviously, we know you can just go to Etherscan, and it gives you, matter of fact, I've got Etherscan up here now. They're talking about the fully diluted market cap being 34,884,500. Still shows the max supply of 100 quadrillion token. But if you get into the scans, you can see that, I'll go to that in a second. Actually, let me get into that in a second. Holders, this was another one. There are currently 8,588 holders of Luffy token, okay? It's not a lot of holders, okay? I kind of like that. I don't know why I like that, but I like that. But we want to get more holders. We definitely want to build up the amount of holders. Obviously, the more holders, the more the word gets out. Some key things you need for a cryptocurrency, okay? Popularity is a huge one. It's a huge one. Look at Shiba Inu. Look at the price of Shiba Inu. It's crap right now because of reasons we've talked about in the past, but it's popular. And so it's like number 15 on the list, right? Popularity is huge. So obviously, as we increase the number of holders, the popularity goes up. It's good for the coin, okay? Utility. They definitely, they have a lot of different ways of adding utility. And supply, burning off the supply. Now, let me scroll down here for a second. And I'm looking at the holders, okay? And obviously I'm not looking at all 8,000, but it lists the holders in order of who's holding the most. And the number 1 holder is the null address, is the dead wallet, okay? which you can clearly see in Etherscan confirmed 33.2243% of the total, right, is in the dead wallet, okay? So that's it, confirmed, not just a bunch of talk. You can go right here to Etherscan and get all the information that you need on this token. These guys, they don't talk crap. I mean, everything that they say is absolutely legit, all right? Okay, I asked them about what the plans are for the 50 million that they just received from the venture capitalist. And what he told me is that basically it's going to be used to build utility. They're going to use some of it for more buybacks, which is awesome. Marketing, getting new exchanges, tier 1 centralized exchanges on board, and picking up some new key employees that are going to help them get to where they want to get. Now, I didn't go into detail about exactly what areas they're looking for employees, but if you guys are out there and you're listening to this and you have some expertise in this stuff, this is an up-and-coming company, and it is really coming up. So it might not be a bad idea to drop a resume. I think that was no, that wasn't it for the question. I did ask him some other questions. Let me change the page here. Okay. I asked him about what steps they were focused on as far as for investors, okay? If they kept it in mind that there are people out there investing in this thing, and the purpose for them investing is because they want to make money, all right? And they absolutely have that in mind. They're absolutely cognitive of that, okay? And what he told me was that really they're super hyper focused on the building of the token right now, okay? Which, if they don't build the token, then it's not going to have any value. So that makes perfect sense, okay? And they want a steady build to this thing. We've seen plenty of these tokens or these coins that skyrocket, okay? They pump. And we all know it. What comes after the pump? A dump. They are not a pump and dump meme token. They are super focused on never being that. So they're concentrating on everything that they develop. They want fully developed. They want working perfectly, tested before they'll even release it. Okay, that's their model. That's their MO. That's the way they want to do things. And as they do that, we're going to see, the utility come in. We're going to see this thing increase. That's how we're going to get our value. That's how, as investors, we're going to make our money. And I don't care if it's a slow build. Okay, I really don't. I would rather they did that than take some steps to pump it up huge, then it falls apart and it all gets dumped. And we've seen that happen recently. So we're staying away from that. They're staying away from that, and that's a beautiful thing. Okay, there were some answers that were given to me that actually gave me a bit of a chill, and I kind of want to read them verbatim. So when I was talking about, I asked if there were any focused steps that they're taking with the goal of shedding some zeros, because currently we're at like 9.035. Okay, this was one of the answers that I got, and this gave me a chill. Okay, I'm going to read it to you. Our main focus right now is to build the token. If the investors want to get rich, they will have to stick with us, because we are not a pump and dump meme token. We are here to stay, because we are the first anime token, and we will be the biggest. Our focus is to build out utilities one at a time to perfection before each release. We cannot afford to make mistakes and releasing perfect products is our trademark. Our swap for the migration was released without any issues, and it was flawless. And the same with our staking platform, absolutely no issues. Okay? The confidence, because they have achieved what they said they were going to achieve. I love it, okay? couple things he talked about at the end here that we didn't talk about, as far as the migration was released without an issue. So Luffy token came out and was actually there were actually 3 other anime tokens that they all combined together. They merged with, okay? And the 4 of them together became Luffy version 2. And that went off without a hitch. And there's plenty of things that could have gone wrong, okay? The other thing that he's talking about is their staking platform. Now, you can stake your Luffy token. If you stake it for 120 days, you can earn up to 24%, okay? There are lower tiers as well building up to that, but that's what's on their white paper, and that's what they're doing. You choose the tier that you want, but you lock it down for 4 months, for 120 days, and you can earn 24%. That's huge. That's humongous, all right? Now, I think I can tell you this. I have some Luffy token, and I bought it on, or I have it, I'm holding it on L-Bank here in the United States. And I'm going to read more into this, but L-Bank was showing something yesterday about 41.2% staking. They're talking about 9.5 Luffy token every day for every 10,000 Luffy that you hold. I've got to read it again before I actually jump into it. Before I tell you too much about it, I've got to read it again and make sure that I'm actually reading what I think I'm reading, because that's humongous. Okay, but I'll get back to you on that one. Okay. So now we're currently in phase 2. They broke they broke the. What am I trying to say? They broke it all down into 3 phases, okay? Their roadmap, I'm sorry, into 3 phases. Phase 1 we're already done with. They accomplished everything they wanted to accomplish on time. Phase 2, we're just getting into Q3, and by the end of Q3, phase 2 will end, and they've achieved the majority of what's on that list. There are a few other things on that list that they are on track to getting achieved. Some of the things on the list, though, really have to do with us, okay? And we can help them achieve those goals, because those goals have to do with how many Twitter followers they have, how many Telegram followers they have, how many holders of the token they have, okay? That's totally on us. And I'm doing this very long video, very detailed video, because I want to get all this information out so that you guys can go and look for them on Telegram, look for them on Twitter, read the white paper, decide whether or not you want to get involved in this token. I'm involved in it. I'm not telling you that you should, I'm not telling you that you shouldn't, but I'm telling you it is worth, if there's anything else out there, I'm telling you this is worth a serious look, okay? But it's up to us. So I'm going to link all of this stuff in the description, as far as the Telegram, as far as the Twitter, the webpage. I'll try to put it all in the description to make it easy for you to just click on the link, and let's get them to where they want to go. Because particularly if you're invested or about to invest in this token, we already talked about it. Popularity is key. So if we can get that subscriber base up for them, it's only going to help us, okay? And don't forget, if you're not subscribed to this channel, to subscribe to this channel as well, because I'm doing my best to get the information out for these guys as well, and we can all help build it together, for them, for ourselves, Anyway, all right. One other thing that was told to me, I think I can read this. Our focus steps, and this had to do with my question regarding what we're doing to actually knock off some zeros. Our focus steps to add value is all about building the utilities in the community. Exactly right. It's what it should be. The stronger the community, the stronger the token, which means we can keep growing and knock those zeros off. Okay? So it is a focus of theirs and something they're cognitive of. Right now, we are not focused on the price due to the market, which makes sense. I have been saying recently to the community to ignore the price and watch what we are doing. We are building our utilities and community so that we're ready for the bull run. Love it, right? It's a plan. It's a solid plan. It's true. Who cares about the price right now? The market is horrible, okay? Build this thing, build it strong, so that when we knock off that supply, we start knocking off those zeros as well, all right? That's the plan coming out of this organization. I love it. I think you should go and check it out, okay? We're going to talk about some more things in the future. I'm really hype, if you can tell, on this company and on this token. But, that's me. That's my take on it. That's my perspective. We talk about perspective a lot on this channel. My perspective is that they have a great potential to do great things, and I'm happy to be a part of it in the beginning, okay? So go ahead and check it out. And again, hit the like button, leave some comments. If you have questions, put them in there. I'll try to get some answers for you if I don't know the answers myself. And I'll talk to you next time, okay? Sorry about the long video, but I think you can see it was absolutely needed, all right? Okay, ciao.